governor of talk radio is on the air. Call in. Have your opinion heard. 591-1690. Cliff Kelly, the talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
Love affair is the kind of love that you read about in a fairy tale. Like the sun that shines on a rainy day, it's a cloud of love. One of a kind. Love affair is when you're down is up and you're up is down, the love stays around. And when you know you're right, but you got to make a little sacrifice, you make it for love. Whoa, yeah. I never thought about the day would come when she would leave without goodbye. Yes, sir. She wrote a line or two upon the wall. Said, I'm leaving you, though I love you too. I can't stay with you. And to this very day, I can never say a discouraging word.
Good afternoon. This is the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. I'm Cliff Kelly, and it's Hump Day, Wednesday, yes, May 27th. We are on iHeartRadio. All you need to do is download the app to your smartphone or tablet and take us with you wherever you are, wherever you're going. And, of course, you can also give us a call at WVON. Go to 773-591-1690. And when you do that, we always ask that you participate in the daily listener poll and also view our current video. And you can call us direct at 773-591-1690. 773-591-1690. We have a very interesting person in our studio. And this is odd to say, but I could talk to him a whole lot about something that has nothing to do with why he's here. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yes,
Mr. Dino Hall is with us. Mr. Hall, thank you so much for being here.
So thank you for having me, Cliff.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure in talking to you just a few moments before we started, because you're telling me some things that, I know about.
Yes.
And I know that, can I just say what you do?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
that's
the man is an air traffic controller. And I have been up in a tower, as I was telling him when I was in the city council. I was on the aviation committee, and I told everybody, the pilots, they're only there in case of an emergency. The controllers do it all. And, I know that not many of us doing that. And he's been doing it since 1981.
That's correct, sir. Yes.
That's amazing. And you're where? Tell us.
I work at in Aurora, Illinois, out there where the guy was trying to burn the place down.
Right. And you control half the country from there. That guy was. He really screwed things up.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. A number of days.
Yes, for just about 2 weeks, it was out of service.
Oh, that just shows how important that is.
Yes, it is. It caused billions of dollars of losses for the airlines and the national economy.
I am supposed to talk to you, sir. I'm going to have you come back. I am supposed to talk to you about the
upcoming event.
Upcoming event. Yes, which is just going to be great. And tell us about it.
Well, it is the historic revolutionary reunion of the Last Poets that come into Chicago, Illinois.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And the Last Poets are for our listening audience, the Last Poets are they credited with being the godfathers of hip hop music.
Yeah.
For their fiery poetry back in the 1960s, 1970s, and they were a huge inspiration for those in the Black Power movement, and an inspiration for those who were just being about the Black Power movement.
Now, how are you involved in that?
Well, actually, I am the promoter of the event.
Okay.
And what happened was, I'm the promoter of the event. What happened was, I was trying to do an event with the Last Poets when a couple of years ago in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And that didn't happen, so I just got a phone call from Mr. Umar Ben Hassan, who's one of the members of the Last Poets, and he called me up out of the blue in I guess February of last year, and asked me would I be willing to promote an event in Albuquerque, New Mexico, a poetry event, and I said sure. So he called, and we made the arrangements, and we did the show, and it was a huge success down in Albuquerque. So we just decided to keep in touch with each other. We talk to each other all the time and just talk about today's events and how the relationship between what they were talking about in the 1960s and 70s are still going on right here and today.
That was all about the American Civil Rights
That is correct,
movement,
yes.
right, and the black nationalism
That's right,
also.
right. And we know what's going on today with the killings of the African American male. You know, so we talked about it, and then you said, and then I said to Mr. Benasson was, how about coming and doing an event here in Chicago? And then he said, yeah, and I'll bring the rest of the poets with us. So I said, good, I'll promote it. It's going to be at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, July 25th. The doors open at 6. And the show starts at 7. So what we're trying to do also, I have 2 poetry contests for those poets who are in New Mexico, want to come up to Chicago and do their showcase their poetry. And also we have a Chicago Metro-wide poetry contest here in the city for any poet who is willing to get on the stage and be a part of this show. You can be part of the contest to be a part of the show. Cliff, let me say this. Let me say this. Like you and I were talking.
Right.
I'm an air traffic controller and I'm a pilot. There's so few African American air traffic controllers and even fewer pilots. So what we're trying to do, is we have events to raise funds so that we can introduce African American and Hispanic kids to careers in aviation and aerospace. So that's the reason why we have these events. We try to raise funds so that we can sponsor kids to give them the opportunity to let them know that they have options to education, options to better careers within the aviation industry and the aerospace industry. So we want to sponsor kids who want to get an experience or be introduced to careers in aviation and aerospace. So we're going to do at least 3 students here in Chicago to so that they can go and be part of an overnight aviation camp at Lewis University to experience and just open their minds to the possibilities that are out there. Now, they don't have to become air traffic controllers. That's not what we're trying to do. But we just want them to let them know that they have options.
Right.
They introduce them to something that they may not have even thought about, and give them something to think about in the future.
I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. I'm just happy that you're doing this. I don't think that most people understand, and the only reason I do is because I said I've been in the tower.
Right.
How important that job, not only important, but you got to really know what you're doing.
Oh, yes.
Without a doubt, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, again, let me give you a little bit more background of myself. I started out in the United States Air Force in 1981 at the Columbus Air Force Base in Mississippi. And it was a training base where it was very busy. It was in the top 5 for the military as far as air traffic. I got out of there. I learned one thing when I was in the military as an air traffic controller. You always have to have a backup plan. So I went to college, came up back to Illinois, that's where I'm from, Chicago, Illinois. I grew up on the south side. I went to Simeon.
Oh, okay.
And grew up there. Like I said, I learned one thing as an air traffic controller. You always have to have a backup plan. So my backup plan, I went to college down at SIU in Carbondale, Southern Illinois University, and graduated with a major in aviation management. Left there as an air traffic controller. Went to the United States. Correction, I got hired on as an intern with the Federal Aviation Administration, and that's where I've been with them since 1986. So I've had several other positions. I was a facility training specialist at where I am out in Aurora. I left and went to the Des Plaines, where we call the regional office, and that's where I became a quality assurance specialist. And I was a system requirement specialist. But in quality assurance, we were making sure that air traffic controllers were doing what they were supposed to do. You know, we would go back and listen to the tapes and make sure that all of what they were saying to the pilots is correct and what they should be saying,
right,
and without any excess verbiage in there.
You know, I used to look at those things as they were going.
Radar scopes?
Exactly.
Okay.
And you see the numbers,
yes,
and the alphabet tells you
yes,
what airline it is,
yes,
and tells you how fast they and what they elevate. It's amazing.
Yes.
And you really got to know what you're doing.
Oh, you have to. So I left there, Cliff. And
I want to interrupt you just one second. We are pleased to have Dino Hall here. He's just great, and I love what they're going to do. They're going to be helping young people be exposed to this profession, that's what it is. We'll be back with him in just a moment.
Cliff Kelly on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
We are so pleased to be
New York
back.
City's a place where junkies prowl, where tiger growls in search of one last blow, and winos sing doing their thing as they find their graves in snow, and young girls in vice sell love for a price, and even the law is corrupt, and they all go down crying, but they keep on trying because New York is a bitter cup.
My poetry reflected that anger, that bitterness sometimes.
The global economy becomes a global slave. Whom do we dispose of and whom do we save?
The reign of modern day Western civilization has devastated the planet Earth.
Are you ready, niggas? You got to be ready. Are you ready, niggas? You got to be ready.
Jazz is the American classical music. It's America's only classical music. It's jazz.
And that, of course, is The Last Poets, made in America. And we are so pleased, of course, to have Mr. Dino Hall here. And we need to mention this, we've been talking so much about your job as an air traffic controller, but you're the CEO of the organization that produces these shows.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're
okay.
on.
Yes,
yeah.
I am.
Right. The name of your...
Oh, it's DSH Entertainment, and
right.
we have a foundation of ADH and the ADH Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're trying to do is the entertainment portion tries to raise funds so that we can funnel money back into the foundation so that we can provide camps, scholarships for kids to get into the space camp and the aerospace camp.
I got you. So the ADH Foundation Inc. is funded by DSH Entertainment Inc.
Yes,
gotcha.
I just had a text from a couple of the brothers the few brothers who work out there at the air traffic control facilities. Anthony Mack, he told me to give him a shout out. Earl Robertson and Alex Govan. They are three of the brothers who I work with, and we depend on each other and working out there. So
well,
we support one another.
That's wonderful. That's
yes.
wonderful. But they're watching that screen.
Yeah.
Right. I'm joking, everybody. I think that's funny. Well, this is going to be great. I need you again to give us the information, please.
Okay. So what the title of the event is the Historic Revolutionary and Reunion of the Last Poets that are coming to Chicago. It's going to take place on July 25th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center. The doors open at 6 and the show starts at 7. It's on 4701 South King Drive here in Chicago, Illinois. Mm-hmm. And we have two contests going on for any local poets here in Chicago who want to be a part of this show. And all they have to do is find the information out on our website, and that is DSHentertainmentinc.com. And for those who want to buy tickets, you can go to our website also, and that is bitly.com /the last poets. That's one word. The tickets will be going on sale here pretty soon, and so please come down and support us because it's for a good cause. It's for our young kids.
Well, that's what I just love hearing too. Not only about the background and the history of what this is about, and the music itself, because that was definitely the 60s and 70s, and as you pointed out, and I agree with you, things aren't too different now.
Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, before we went on air, I was telling you about. I had spoken to one of the poets, Mr. Umar Ben Hassan. He and I talk quite regularly now. He's like an uncle. So he was telling me about what was going on back then, and we were talking about what's going on right now, and how relevant those things are. And we need to come together as a community so that we can stop the violence. Not only violence with the police, but the violence on each other.
That's right.
So we need to stop that violence and let everybody know it's not his story. His story is our story. That's what the poets are all about, our story, because he was a part of that Black Power movement. He was also one of those individuals who the FBI kept tabs on, along with the Huey P. Newton, who he said he knew personally. You know, H. Rap Brown, all of those guys, Kwame Ture, and Angela Davis. So you know, he knows all of the and knows all of them, all of the members, the prominent members of the Black Power movement back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, so, that's the COINTELPRO.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, what the FBI was doing to our.
Yeah, that is great. That is great. And again, before we close, I want you to say again what you are trying to get some of these young guys to do. You want to raise money so you can get
okay, it's not just young men, but we try to do young women also. We don't want to leave them out.
Thank you very much.
They're important to in our community also. That's no problem.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is introduce our children, students, to careers in aviation and astronaut training. Now that's important because
that is great.
They don't get that. They don't see that on a daily basis. So it's important to expose them to those kind of careers. You know, open up their eyes. We're not saying we want them to become air traffic controllers or pilots or astronauts, but if a kid is introduced to something new, then that opens up his eyes and gives that child options he may not have thought about, or she may not have thought about on a daily basis, that, wow, if I see someone who looks like me doing this, then maybe I can do it also.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about.
That is great. And give us the information one more quick time.
My name is Dino Hall. I can be reached at 630-589-6038, and the email at dshinc@dshentertainmentinc.com. The website information for all of our events is dshentertainmentinc.com.
Great. And the event we're talking about?
And the event is July 25th, 2015 at the Harold Washington Cultural Center. Please come out and support us. And we thank you so much for allowing me this time on your show.
Listen, it's been a pleasure. As I said, DeVita said, get his number. We're going to be having you back. Listen, I'm running short. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you.